Imagine a world where everybody is connected. Imagine a world where somebody in Japan can do a transaction with somebody in the United States without high banking fees. Imagine a world no longer ruled by greedy corporate banks. There's going to become a time when we think of central banks in the same way we think about calling an operator to talk to a friend on the phone. This weird, annoying entity that came between us and the things we actually wanted. You aren't going to drown in fees anymore. You aren't going to borrow money from a bank. You aren't going to fight a half a dozen middlemen. It'll just be you and your money anywhere on earth. And once this happens, cryptocurrency could very well make the US dollar obsolete. Once people understand how easy this is and get used to it, the demand for legacy money controlled by a government and bank is going to plummet like a rock. Welcome to the world of cryptocurrency. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Thank you guys for taking time out of your schedule for being here. There's so many things you can be doing with your time, and this is an extra special Crypto Talk this evening because our topic is going to be the Metaverse. So go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. So, all right, Saturday night. Been a real busy last couple of days. Before we get into the topic, we have to look at what the current market is doing. So let me share screen. All right. So what is the current market cap doing right now? We are up 0.3%. It is at $2.19 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is at 37.3%. Ethereum is at 18.1%. Bitcoin is sitting at 43,100. Ethereum is at 3,300. So kind of flat line since this morning. Not much movement. Binance is up 1%. Cardano's up 3.9. Terra Luna is up 7.1. Polkadot 2.4. Avalanche 2.1. Crypto.com is up 1.5. Uniswap's 4.9. So not too bad. Any breakouts? Who's the best performers? Luna is up 7.1%. Now that's a great gain. 29% the last week. Luna's up. Uniswap is up 4.9. Cardano 3.9. PancakeSwap, Gala, Engine, Waves, and Radix. Then we have worst performers: Olympus, Wonderland, Harmony, Monero, Oasis Network, Cello, Near, FraxShare, Cosmos, Dogecoin, Tezos. All right. So really Olympus, Wonderland, and Harmony, and Monero. So tonight we are going to cover a specific topic. This morning I gave you guys a choice on what topic should we cover for Late Night Crypto Talk, and you guys chose Metaverse over this one here, which was best cryptocurrency apps and exchanges for January 2022. And you guys said, no, we'll come back to that one. We want to do this. These 5 Metaverse projects are set to explode in 2022. Now, this might take me 2 nights to do. So we'll see if this is going to be a 2-night project. So 2022 will be the year of Web 3.0 and the Metaverse. We'll get to Web 3.0 in our next article. So I'm going to use that as a cover as well. We'll get to Web 3.0 in our next article, but this one will focus on the metaverse and what this means for you as an investor. Let's get straight into it. So, what is a metaverse? Simply put, a metaverse is a digital space represented by a digital representations of people, places, and things. You guys hear that? I was visiting my parents today, and my mom asked the question, what is an NFT? I keep hearing about NFTs. What's this metaverse? Does Facebook own metaverse? And so as I was trying to explain it to her, then she was like, you remember, you got to explain it to me that I can understand it. So I thought that was cute. So metaverse is a digital space represented by digital representations of people, places, and things. So I told her this. I said, remember on this? You guys seen this thing, right? The Oculus headset. Put this on, and you are now in a completely different world. Can you guys see me? I am re-engaging with this. I had to pull out. I've got multiple phones here. So, for example, this isn't going to work with my Z Fold. This phone, this is too big for this headset. It's not going to work with. Well, it might work with my Clear phone. I tried it with my old Samsung Galaxy S20. This is my S20, and it's also too big. So I had to go back and get my Galaxy S8. This one right here. So it says Gear. So I was in the process of reinstalling this one on my Galaxy S8 phone. And you just stick this right into the back and get into the metaverse. So I'm going to have fun trying to play with this iPhone. What I remember, the last time I messed around with this, I was able to have fun with it for a good 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, it started to give me headaches. And then the headaches would last once I took it off a good couple of hours. And so I was like, let me put this thing down. I don't need that right now. So, but I want to play with that. I want to get the new ones, the Oculus 2 and the ones with the finger sticks and all that stuff. I'm going to start getting the practice of that because I see where the world is going. So, simply put, a metaverse is a digital space represented by digital representations of people, places, and things. Oh, I didn't recognize you guys tonight. So who do we have? Let's see. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Dagmar, good evening. Marnita from Colorado. Teresa. Melissa from the UK. You're up late. Late. Janelle from Colorado. See, Lynetta. Oh, you got to catch me tonight from Virginia. Gina Mohammed from Philadelphia. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay. So, simply put, we know what the metaverse is, represented by digital representations of people, places, and things. In other words, it's a digital world with real people represented by digital projects, digital objects. It's a combination of multiple elements of technology, including virtual reality, augmented reality, and video, where users live, that's the key word there, live within a digital universe. Supporters of the metaverse envision its users working, playing, and staying connected with friends through everything from concerts and conferences to virtual trips around the world. Think about that. Anything you can think of. The metaverse at its core is an embodied internet, a social sphere where people will be able to meet with the help of personalized avatars that make them feel more present than a plain video call. Think about that one next. That's going to be next. We already have what people use FaceTime and Zoom and Messenger, where you can actually see the other person you're talking to at the time. We have all that kind of stuff, but that's nothing compared to what's about to happen. You'll be able to go on virtual dates with people. What do I mean by that? Well, I did this with who was that? My cousin or my friend? It was years ago. We actually were able to watch a video in the movies live. It was like Netflix. Yeah, it was Netflix. We were able to watch Netflix, and you go in with the headset. Now, if you think you've got a big TV at home, I have a 72 inch. They got my 72-inch TV. That's my biggest one I have on my wall out there. And this one, that's a 55-inch right there. That's a 32-inch. So if you watch TV on, Netflix on your 55-inch, 60-inch, what's it downstairs? A 65-inch, I think, downstairs in my living room. Now, as big as that is, right? Imagine when you go into a movie theater and you see how big that screen is. When you put on the virtual headset and you go in there, you are actually sitting down and you're looking at 100 or whatever inch screen, movie theater, and watching Netflix, watching movies. And that was cool. I used to like to take baths, right, with my virtual headset on and watch Netflix shows instead of sitting there watching it on my phone. So, and I like this one because this one's a pretty big screen, my Z flip phone for a phone, but it's nothing compared to with the VR headset. You're actually there in the movie. Imagine well, you can't actually go out to dinner with somebody because you have to eat, but going to, let's go to a beach. Let's go to Cancun. And you're both there with the headsets on, walking around, being fully immersed. That is ultimately amazing. I can't believe it. I'm messing with my ear because I forgot to charge my hearing aid and it decides to go out on me right as I go live. Go figure. Of course that happens, right? So let me get that plugged back in. There we go. So, live within a digital universe, supporters of the metaverse envision its users working, playing, and staying connected with friends through everything from concerts and conferences to virtual trips around to the world. The metaverse at its core, there we go. Speaking of the Caribbean, Carol Anderson from the Caribbean. Stacy, what's going on, Stacy from New Orleans? That's another one. Imagine I've been to New Orleans 3 times in my life. 3 times. Twice when I was in college, going down to Battle of the Bands, Grambling versus Southern. And I went for Mardi Gras once, and I went as older as an event. But imagine being able to put on the virtual headset and stroll up and down the New Orleans, very beautiful at night and in the summertime. So the metaverse at its core is an embodied internet, a social sphere where people will be able to meet with the help of personalized avatars that make them feel more present than a plain video call. Bourbon Street. You know what I remember getting on Bourbon Street? This big, you say I want a tall, margarita or something, and the thing was huge like this. All right. Make them feel more present than a plain video call. It's synchronous, which makes it feel more like a real life than today's feed-based social media. Instead of catching up on what others have been up to, you'll meet with them in real time. So everybody loves being on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok. Imagine doing TikTok videos live in front of people. I think you might be able to get rid of the digital warriors, right? You've got people that like to act bad because they're behind. I call them keyboard warriors, behind a screen, saying stuff they never say to you in your face. But what about the virtual world? Will somebody still be as brave? Could you still punch somebody in the mouth? That's going to be interesting. Will there be penalties? Like in Ready Player One, if you died in it, you lost all your stuff, all your gear. So it will also be persistent, just like the world around us. When you revisit a metaverse space, you won't have to start over from scratch. And just like real life, it's going to encompass all kinds of things that you may want to do with other people. Go to concerts and other events, play games, hang out, date, date. And yes, work and shop. How is that going to mess with social interactions, dating? Because, I'm 45 years old, and I thank God that I came up when there was no Facebook, social media, and everybody having a cell phone camera. Like in the 90s when I was in school, Daytona Beach and Freaknik and whatnot, the stuff I was doing in Atlanta, I don't want to pop up back on me now. if there was no camera, it didn't happen, right? But now, and we had to physically meet people. I remember my first week on Morehouse campus. I couldn't wait to get to Clark and Spelman. I couldn't wait to physically go meet people. But this generation today, I'm looking at my kids, and this is what they want to do. They want to meet up on Minecraft and Fortnite, or watch Twitch TV, or watch somebody playing a video game on YouTube. And I'm like, you guys got to go outside and play with the friends. And I go pick up my son. He's only a freshman in high school, but I look at the juniors and the seniors, and yeah, you see some of them holding hands, right? And the other hand, they got their phone, and they're dee, 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 and nobody's talking to each other. I see kids waiting at the bus stop. None of them's talking to each other. They're all like this on their phones, and they're walking. I'm like, how are they not walking right into the street? But it's weird. And this is only going to get even more immersive. So I wonder how I'm a psychology minor. I wonder how social interaction is going to adapt, because that's all we do. We adapt. And I think with virtual reality, we might go back to how it was when I was a kid, because now you are interacting, I guess, face to face. It's not just on a screen. You see your avatar is physically meeting with another avatar, but that's not in real life. But who's to say what's real? You guys seen The Matrix? That technology is here, where you can have an entire virtual world where you'll be able to work in, make money in. You might have a job that is inside the metaverse, where you're actually doing activities, because you can have businesses doing advertisements. You might have video games. You might have your office is inside the metaverse, where you're spending more time there than you're only in the real world to eat and sleep. Mark my words, that's coming. You'll start to see more movies and TV shows based on this. Watch. I think it's so cool, though. So it will also be persistent, just like the world around us. You'll be able to go to events, online concert, play games, hang out, date, and yes, work and shop. That also might be safer with all these freaking mass shootings taking place. Remember the event in Vegas? How many years ago was that, where the dude was it was the MGM Grand shooting from the window? All those hundreds of people got shot. But what if you attend the same concert but virtually, and you're still surrounded by a whole bunch of people? You're all immersed, and your artist is on stage, even though the artist might be at home chilling. But with the VR headsets performing, that might be a more safer thing. Huh. Why the metaverse? The big tech companies are going all guns blazing on the metaverse. Okay, this is something we need to pay attention to. The big tech companies are all going all guns blazing on the metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg is all in, while Microsoft wants to build the enterprise metaverse. What in the world is that? The enterprise metaverse. Microsoft details plans for building a metaverse for enterprises. Well, hello. This is something I'm going to need to cover. It seems my late night crypto talks is going to be all metaverse type geared stuff. Meanwhile, online multiplayer games like Fortnite, Minecraft, owned by Microsoft, and Roblox have already made social gaming a mainstream phenomenon and have created platforms that can be, you know what? I hear my son in his room right now. I already know what game he's playing because he's getting pissed off. He's playing freaking Fortnite right now when I told him to do something else, and he knows I'm live right now, so I can't go grab him by the neck yet. But I'm going to get him. Playing Fortnite. But have already made social gaming a mainstream phenomenon and have created platforms that can be the building blocks for developing the metaverse. Some game developers believe that Roblox, yes, that boxy game beloved by 7 to 12-year-olds. I never understood that. I never understood Minecraft. I'm like, what's the purpose here? What are you doing? I don't get it. But the kids, they love this stuff. Could be the most powerful metaverse platform of the future. Really? I will invest in it. Minecraft, meanwhile, runs on Hadean Cloud software, which can scale up to thousands of users per world. Now, when I see something like that, I'm thinking bigger, not these stupid kid games, but I'm thinking more on adult stuff. I used to play Matrix Online, where you just had thousands of people at the same time in the same world on the same map. Ready Player One. The computing power to scale virtual reality to a massive scale is only now emerging. Companies like Hadean and Improbable, which specialize in creating large-scale distributed computing, can get 10,000 players on the same server simultaneously. Why can I say that? Many metaverse companies are talking about hosting concerts and sporting events for 50,000 people simultaneously, something that would have been unthinkable only a few years ago. Now, how can this be used in the real world? We just had the Olympics, or we tried to have the Olympics. Okay, my brain is foggy. Was it in China or was it Japan? When was the last Summer Olympics? I don't remember if it was China or Japan. I think it was China. No, I think it was Japan. Anyways, it had to be postponed for a year because of COVID. And then finally, when they were able to do it, they had opening ceremony in the stadium with nobody in the stadium. They put these cardboard boxes of people in all of the seats to make it look like it was filled up. What if you had opening ceremony in the metaverse and you had 50,000 people that, check this out. The 50,000 people had to pay. So now not only people in the hosting country could be there to get a seat, but anybody around the world, instead of watching it on TV, you pay to have a VIP pass, and you're now in the stadium. They already do that now. You can get like, I don't know if it's virtual reality style, but watching NBA games, and you can get it where you're watching it on TV, but you're down on the court from a camera's angle's point of view. Can you imagine that? You're virtually there and you turn your head around and you're seeing everything in the stadium. Thank you, Martios. Tokyo. That's right. Tokyo Olympics. Can you imagine that? It's not an imagination anymore. It's already here. And they'll say, well, we have to do that because of COVID. People, we can't have, social distancing and all that stuff. Or we're afraid of a terrorist activity. Like if you guys go way back, 1970 something, what was that Olympics where the Jewish committee was shot up? I forgot what country the Olympics was in. But I don't, was I born when that happened? Either the 60s or 70s when that took place, the hostage crisis with the Jewish athletes. So something unthinkable only a few years ago. Cryptocurrencies, Munich. Thank you, Dagmar. Munich, Germany. Yes. So something unthinkable. Cryptocurrencies and NFTs make it easier to buy and sell things inside the metaverse, opening up commercial opportunities. And this is what I was telling my mom because she didn't understand the whole NFT thing and why people would buy stuff in the metaverse. I said, Mom, you have to think like a business person. If you have a product that you want to sell, the only way you sell it is if somebody knows you have a product to sell, which means you have to do marketing. You have to do advertising. Even McDonald's, do you think there is a person on the planet that does not know who McDonald's is? I think they've got to a point where every single person on the planet in every country knows the Golden Arch, right? Yet why do we still see McDonald's commercials? Because they want to keep themselves in front of people's eye. So any business, you must advertise. When you like if there's a barbershop that just opens up, they put the grand opening sign right on the front. My old barber, I remember they had a grand opening. I was a senior in high school. I remember that. Junior in high school. And I went off to college. And I remember coming back my freshman year, back from school, that summer of 95. And I went to the barbershop and he still had that grand opening sign at the top. And I'm like, hey, Danye, hey man, you had that grand opening sign up there for like 3 years now. You opened 3 years ago. Why you keep that sign up there? And you know what he said? People that drive by for the first time don't know I opened 3 years ago. It's advertising. And I was like, I had an aha moment. I was like, oh, okay. He says only people in the neighborhood know I've been here for 3 years, but not nobody else. Why is it when there's a Super Bowl, businesses are willing to spend millions of dollars for a 30-second ad? Why? Because the Super Bowl draws the most amount of crowd, which means the most amount of eyeballs, and you want to put your brand right in front of them. They're willing to spend money. So this is how I explained it to my mom. So I said, now, Mom, imagine the metaverse. Imagine a very popular game or event taking place in the metaverse where a bunch of people are going to gather. It makes no difference if they're gathering in real life somewhere or if they're gathering in the metaverse. They're still gathering. If you're a business, you want to advertise to wherever the people are. She's like, I get it. So I hope this is making sense to you guys too. So many, let's see here. But more importantly, these exchangeable tokens will also eventually make it possible to move your virtual identity and goods between different metaverse worlds. This is the key right here. Because starting off, you're going to have multiple companies coming up with their own version of the metaverse or the oasis like Ready Player One. But then there's going to be technology that you're going to be able to move it between. There's only going to be one virtual world, one virtual space and many different metaverses within it. And you'll be able to move from one platform to another with the same identity, the same ID. So you're not starting off all over again somewhere else. Think about banks right now. If you have money in Bank of America, could you still go to a ATM machine at Chase and pull out money from the ATM machine, even though you don't have an account with Chase? Yeah, you can still do that. Think of the internet. The internet is the World Wide Web, WWW. That's what it stands for, World Wide Web. And then on this World Wide Web is Yahoo, Google, Bing, Facebook, MySpace, and then the billions of other businesses and stuff that's out there and people. So people can, but the only thing is, you have to create a new account if you want to go to Twitter. You want to go to Facebook, you got to create a new account. Go to YouTube, you got to create a new account. Google does the best at trying to merge everything together. So all you need is one account. And anything in the Google verse, is still all connected. But in this metaverse, imagine you don't have to register again, create a new avatar. It will be that way at the beginning. But soon what they're saying here is that let's see. More important, exchangeable tokens will make it possible to move your virtual identity and goods between different metaverse worlds. You could take your pixelated sword from a Roblox game and turn it into a powerful gun in Fortnite, for example. This is when the metaverse becomes truly meta. And you can hop around seamlessly between platforms in the way that sci-fi novels like Snow Crash and Ready Player One. Okay, wait, hold up. I know of Ready Player One. I don't know of Snow Crash. Have you guys ever heard of Snow Crash? What is that? Snow Crash. A novel, Snow Crash movie? There is a movie on this? A futuristic society encounters a computer virus that has the ability to scramble people's brains. HBO Max has put in development Snow Crash, a drama series based on Neil Stephenson's sci-fi novel. I have not. Has this come out yet? Let's see. Where can I watch Snow Crash? Oh, it's coming to HBO Max. But this article was back in 2019, December 14th. Okay, I'm gonna. What is Metaverse and Snow Crash? Transcendent Inverse. I'm a freaking nerd with this kind of stuff, so I know. Check out Snow Crash. All right. It's an exciting time to be alive. I love this stuff. So back to this. Think of it like that moment in the 1990s when mobile phones started allowing people to text each other. Remember that? Across different networks. And suddenly, mobile messaging exploded beyond anyone's expectations. Mobile phones, though, in the 90s, ain't nobody I knew had a mobile. We all had freaking pagers. Later, if you had a pager, you were either a doctor, a lawyer, or a prostitute, or a drug dealer. What you need a pager for? But I had a pager in the 90s. And you know what was really cool? When we got those two-way pagers. Remember those? Because regular pagers, all you're doing is when somebody's paging you, you see a number and just basically telling them, you'll call me, this number. But we figured out how to turn numbers into letters. And if you flip the pager upside down, letters could spell something out. That is how my generation texted each other. And it's only like one word with a certain number of digits. Now, I'm either dating myself in age or you guys on here know exactly what I'm talking about. Sending code words through paging. But then the two-way pager came out, and there was an R&B song based on that. And I hear the song in my head, and I can't remember who did it. That song was kind of tight. I like the beat on it. But the two-way pager. Who here remembers that song about the two-way R&B song? And when we got that two-way pager where we actually could send a message to each other, and you can do that, Oh, that was the coolest thing. And then shortly after that came the cell phones, the flip phones. So now you don't have to pick up the phone and call somebody. Hit me on the two-way, and you can just text each other. That was cool. See, Stacy, you're of my generation. You know everything that I'm talking about. See, me and you, we can kick it because you know. The youngins don't know. They don't understand what we used to do. But the flip phones, then you had to hit number one also was A, B, and C, and you have to hit it 3 times, 2 times to get it, and then you have to go space and go on to the next. Now, I don't want nobody calling me. I get annoyed when my phone rings. Is that just me? I get really annoyed if somebody tries to call me on Messenger without asking first, or they try to call me on WhatsApp without asking first. I get offended. Why are you calling me? Text me. See how the world changes, how fast things have moved. All right. This is when the metaverse becomes truly meta, and you can hop around seamlessly between platforms in the way that sci-fi novels like Snow Crash and Ready Player One imagine. Think of it like that moment in the 90s when mobile phones started allowing people to text each other across different networks, and suddenly mobile messaging exploded beyond anyone's expectations. 5 metaverse cryptos that are set to explode in 2022. Now, you know what? I've been talking for freaking 40 minutes, and I'm just now getting to that. Good grief. Told you, I don't just read to read. I read to understand. This is exciting to me. 5 metaverse cryptos that are set to explode. We narrowed this list down to 5 that we're going all in on, and then a few honorable mentions. We did our own due diligence, but please do yours. This is not financial advice, just some projects that will benefit when the metaverse truly arrives, and that we believe should go to the moon, as they say. So you better believe I'm taking notes on this. 5 metaverse projects 2022. Okay. Toys token. Toys token is a barely known cryptocurrency. Really? Hold up. Look at this. Metaverse. Become a metaverse landowner. This is all you're going to start seeing. Is it here? Bookie, Tomb. Is it even listed? And then you go back. TOYZ. It's not even listed yet. Oh, definitely I'm putting this down. So Toys token is a barely known cryptocurrency launched less than 6 months ago, who considers themselves as a charity token that benefits humanity. Toys donates a portion of the money from buys and sales to charity. Where have I heard that from? Whether that means donating toys to kids in need, as they have done, granting wishes, funding housing for families in need, or by creating educational material for children, designing crypto learning apps for kids, social work, community outreach, or any of the other major philanthropic activities Toys takes part in. Toys is already an accepted cryptocurrency in one toy store and looking forward to being adopted by other children's stores across the globe. Paving the way, Toys token is a forerunner in the mass adoption of cryptocurrencies in the children's retail industry. The first usually remains the gold standard. Toys. Wait, did I spell that with a? I did spell it with a Z, right? Yeah, not an S. Toys is branching out into the metaverse too, with the planned Toys Arcade, where people will be able to play arcade games in the metaverse using Toys tokens as currency. Okay, wait, hold up. See, this is what was going to trip me out. Have you ever have you ever played a game where in the game you can play another game? Have you ever done that before? All right, who plays Grand Theft Auto? Do you know inside Grand Theft Auto there's an arcade where you can play arcade games inside the game? So Toys Arcade, where people will be able to play arcade games in the metaverse using Toys tokens as currency. The metaverse will never be the same. Toys is also launching their own line of branded wooden toys called Toys. Branded wooden toys, which will be available for purchase in their metaverse store and on their website. Can you imagine? All right, when people from out of California, from the East Coast, and they come to Cali for the first time, what they want to do besides going to Disneyland and whatnot, or Universal Studios? They want to go see Hollywood. They want to go up and down or Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. They want to be able to walk up and down the street and see the shops on Rodeo Drive. What if, and this is not even a what if, because this is what's going to happen, the same stores on Rodeo Drive is going to be the same stores inside the metaverse? What if they create a virtual Rodeo Drive? Stacy brought up Bourbon Street. What if there's a virtual Bourbon Street, a virtual Mardi Gras, that you're in the metaverse and you're walking up and down the streets, even the side streets, in Mardi Gras? I'm thinking, how did I survive the 90s? How did I survive Freaknik, Mardi Gras, and Daytona Beach? We had no cell phones. If me and my boys got separated, how will we make it? And we were broke. These kids today, they couldn't survive what we went through. We had no pager, no cell phones. But imagine you're virtual walking down the streets and experiencing that. Or you go into a virtual Rodeo Drive store, right? You make a purchase and it's shipped to your house in real life. Next thing you know, the next day, your FedEx or your Prime or Amazon or whatever shows up with the item you just bought because you visited the virtual world for it. This, you know why? You know why I think these kids today are so spoiled and couldn't survive us? Because we look back at the stuff we did, and then when we have kids now, we're like, oh, hell no. Keep your ass in the house. You ain't going outside. We caused that because of what we went through, and we know what we went through was BS. We don't want our kids to go through that stuff. So as a result of that, they wouldn't be able to survive it. Okay, I gotta give a quick side story. And you parents, you tell me if your child today, if they can answer yes to this, you're doing good. Because I know with my kids, my oldest, no, wouldn't be able to. I had a situation when I was at school, and dorms were closed. I don't remember if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas or summer break. It was one of those, but I was on my way back home to LA, and I'm in Atlanta, and I had all my bags packed. And I remember the stuff in my dorm we had sent to storage. They had an on-site storage spot for us. So there was no going back to the dorm. And I'm still broke at the time, maybe, $40, $60 on me. And I called a shuttle to pick me up to go to the airport. And it picks us up on Spelman's campus on their parking lot. Now it looks different today than it did back then. There was no parking garage like they have right now. And I was outside the front gate with all my stuff, and I was waiting for the shuttle. And I'm looking at the clock, and my flight is leaving at a certain time. And the shuttle, if it doesn't pick me up, now this is before 9/11, so we had a lot of leeway back then than you do now. You didn't have to show up 3 hours before your flight. You can literally show up 15 minutes before and get on the plane. And that was parents could actually walk you to the gate in those days. So I'm sitting there waiting, and there's no shuttle. I'm like, where's the doggone shuttle? And I go to the guard gate, and I have the security guard because we didn't have cell phone. Called the shuttle spot, and they said, oh yeah, the shuttle's on the way. All right. I'm like, my flight leaves at this time. I paid for the shuttle. It's not here. So I looked at the clock again, and I knew how long it would take for me to get from Spelman to Atlanta Hartsfield. And I'm like, even if the shuttle were to arrive in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to miss my flight. So I had to think on my feet. I saw some guys hanging out, and this was the thing back then. Guys always had their nice cars and was hanging out in Spelman's parking lot to try to pick up the girls, coming out, trying to impress them. So I went up to some dudes and I was like, hey, anybody wanted to do an airport run for $20? And the dude was like, yeah, man, get your stuff, hop on in. And then we hopped on another, hey, where are you going? I'm doing an airport run real quick. I gave the guy $20. He got me to the airport, and I made my flight by 5 minutes. And now that I'm an adult, I think back, if my son was in that situation, would he have known what to do? Would he have thought about, I don't want to call it street smarts, but I can go back into all the crap I done in the 90s. I'm really thinking, how in the world did I survive? And would my kid be able to survive that with no cell phone, no debit or credit card, no pager? That's why we shelter our kids today. And we're seeing the result of that. Anyway, I got many stories like that. Like the time I went down to school and they messed up my lodging. I had no place to stay. My mom was freaking out, talking about, get back on the plane. You're coming home. Speaking of, that's my dad calling me right now. Hey, Dad, I'm doing a Facebook Live. Let me call you right back.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, that's my mom. I'm just talking about my mom right now. She must be thinking about that. But I remember my mom wanted me on a plane immediately. Nope. I had friends. I stayed with friends for 2 or 3 weeks before I got my lodging situated. I know can you imagine my kids 3,000 miles away with no money and no place to stay? I did it. I know my kid can't do that. I would be on the flight to go get my kid. All right. Anyways. Toys. So NFTs are available and so much more in the works, including their own wallet and an app to track the token and its redistribution numbers. Toys looks to disrupt the world and make a huge splash on entry. Toys Tokenomics rewards holders with 5% off of every buy and sell. Just hold and earn passive income. That is the key right there. You buy it, you hold it, and just because you bought it, you're earning passive. That's why we got on the TOAX NFTs. You just hold the TOAX NFT, you're going to be making money just by holding it. Toys can be purchased with Ethereum at FEGEX.com. Also, I was wondering where I can get that by either BNB or USDT on PancakeSwap and USDT on BabySwap. So I'll get it on PancakeSwap. Well, I need to know the exact code, the address for this though. They've yet to be listed on the big exchanges, which is the perfect chance for early investors to get in on a true moonshot. Oh, yes. Toys. I'm getting it. You could put $500 down and flip that into $50,000 in a year. Learn about the project here at toyscrypto.com. Okay, I'm looking at the clock. I knew this was going to be a multi-night thing. We're going to stop right there. Tomorrow is Sunday night. I do a presentation at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Right after that presentation at 10 p.m. Eastern, same time for late night crypto talk, I'm going to come back and we're going to continue this where we left off. Pancake Swap right here is where it's being sold, or at their fegex.com. I would probably get it on Pancake Swap directly because it goes into my own wallet. If you don't know how to do that, then you can go to fegex.com and see. But yeah, I'm gonna get in on this one. Now, we've got something else happening in 1 week. I launched my own business. For those of you who do not know, I launched my own company, and my company is ILCA Challenge, or ILCA, which is Ivy League Crypto Academy. We are putting on a 5-day crypto challenge for free, starting on January 24th through the 28th. 5 days, one topic each day for 1 hour at 8 p.m. Eastern. That I think that's 7 p.m. for you, Stacy, in Louisiana. So every day we're having a specific topic. This has never been done before. I'm the first to do it in this space in crypto. You want to go to ilcachallenge.com and register. ilcachallenge.com and register. Marnita, if you do me a favor, type that in the chat box again for everybody, and I will put it in for YouTube. ilcachallenge.com. Those of you that want VIP access, that's $97 one time, and you get lifetime VIP. And here's why you want to do that. Why do you want to have lifetime access? Because you think the crypto talks that I do are valuable. ILCA Challenge. Like what I'm doing right now with late night crypto talk. What if you guys get on some of this stuff that I share, and next thing you know, you just made $50,000? I'm going to be moving all of my content behind my own business, Ivy League Crypto Academy. So to gain access to that, you got to be a VIP member. That's a one-time $97. So you can do that with the challenge for get backstage VIP passes and all that stuff. But ilcachallenge.com is my business. I'm taking full control over my own crypto education. I still have clients. I still have other companies, but I have my own platform as well. And I encourage and invite you guys to come along for the ride. But every day is going to be a brand new topic. And I will be doing this every single month, once a month, like my Bitcoin boot camps. And I'll be doing, this is virtual, the 5-day challenge, but my Bitcoin boot camps will be out there, in different cities. So we'll be doing both. So register, ilcachallenge.com. For those of you that say, people who need education, but you're tired of them asking you questions and you're not getting paid for it, you can be a promoter of Ivy League Crypto Academy. If you go to teachmecrypto.net, you can become a referral. And if any of your referrals get the VIP pack, you're going to earn 10% of that. And it's not just a VIP, because I'm going to be selling all of my crypto videos there. That's going to be a whole lot more than $97. You get 10%. You're also going to get rewarded if they share with others. So if you want to become a promoter, then you're going to go to teachmecrypto.net. And here is the link you're going to share for people to get to the challenge for free. But if they decide to upgrade to the VIP, you get paid. So I made the best of both worlds. Earn while you learn. Earn while you learn. Yeah, Stacy, you want VIP too. But make sure too, anything you do on my platform, use the same email address. It matches it all up. Use the same email address. But the beautiful thing about this is that This is mine. I don't need to worry about what another CEO is doing. This is my project, my baby here. So I'm really excited about that. Long time in the workings. And this is on the 5-day challenge is just the beginning. I've got 60 more videos coming. And one of those main courses is all about the metaverse. So we will be back tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to continue where we left off. And the number 2 is Decentraland Mana. I'm already over that one. So tonight I found a diamond in the rough. Toys. $200 can end up changing your life. If I'm going to look this thing up and see what the current price is. And once it gets listed on the major exchanges, that sucker's going to explode. So yeah, I found a diamond in the rough. Toys. And we'll finish out the next 4 tomorrow night. And again, thank you guys for being a part of my whole crypto space. Share. And I want to reward you for sharing with others. You share with others, I'm going to pay you to do so. So with that, thank you guys for being here. I'll be back tomorrow night, and I will end by playing this video. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye. From the beginning of time, man has always had a pursuit of the best quality of life possible. That quality of life is not possible without resources. The form of resources we have accumulated has changed over time from cowrie shells, state-controlled money, precious metals, real estate, and stocks and bonds. Over the past 100 years, the world has been dominated by the US dollar and its reserves. But everything that has a beginning also has an end. A new financial revolution is upon us with the emergence of a digital economy. The way we earn, spend, and accumulate resources is fundamentally changing. A new asset has appeared that the wealthy have overlooked. Bitcoin has become the best performing asset of the past decade by far. With only 21 million ever in existence, there are more millionaires and billionaires in the world today than there are Bitcoin. Just by holding 0.25 Bitcoin today, will put you in the top 1% asset holders in the world in the next 5 to 10 years. If you had invested $100,000 in Bitcoin in 2013, today it will be worth more than $15 million. Bitcoin billionaire Raoul Pal says, Bitcoin's performance is so dominant and so all-encompassing that it is going to suck in every single asset narrative dry and spit it out. Never before in my career have I seen a trade so dominant that holding any other assets makes almost no sense. This is not an industry you can afford to ignore. If you want to remain in business, then you must adapt. Are you offering services in Bitcoin? Are you accepting payments with digital currencies? Have you adopted blockchain technology? Blockbuster Video at one point was the most dominant video service in the world. They had the opportunity to be part of Netflix, but they ignored the changing technology. Where is Blockbuster today? Where will you be tomorrow?